To others, this is just an ordinary carton of milk, but in his eyes, it's the key to escaping prison. He tears open the milk carton, revealing a layer of transparent film inside. When the guard steps out, he secretly sticks the film onto the combination lock. This way, when the guard enters the code, 4 fingerprints are left behind. With some calculation, he can deduce the 24 possible combinations. Now, the next step is to figure out the password, but how can he get his hands on the lock? Uncle Long rolls a piece of paper into a small ball, then makes several more in the same way, finally wrapping them all together. When the guard comes to inspect the cell, he secretly stuffs the paper ball into the keyhole. This way, even if the guard locks the window, he can open it from the inside, then reach out and enter the correct code. However, the prison is covered with surveillance cameras. To avoid being discovered by the guards, Uncle Long pays close attention to the activity outside every day, gradually learning the guards' routines. After careful observation, he eventually discovers that every day at noon, the guards go out to the balcony to smoke. This is also the best opportunity for him to escape. But simply getting out of the cell isn't enough to ensure a successful escape, because Uncle Long knows that every successful prison break must meet 3 conditions. First, understanding the guards' routines. Second, being familiar with the prison's layout. And third, having someone on the outside to provide support. Now, he has already mastered the routine. He had already thoroughly familiarized himself with the prison's layout. Through observation, he realized that the weakest point in the entire prison was the fire station next door, and the closest place to the fire station was the prison's solitary confinement room. So, in order to get into solitary confinement, Uncle Long deliberately got into a fight with other inmates, and was eventually locked up there as planned. Then, while the guard was outside smoking, he secretly entered the code and escaped from the cell, then followed the ventilation ducts to the fire station. He quickly changed into a firefighter's uniform, and at this point, the final condition for his escape was in place. Outside, his accomplice timed it perfectly and detonated a car behind him. The firefighters rushed out to respond, while Uncle Long hid under the car, and ultimately escaped successfully, getting straight into his accomplice's car, and leaving. In reality, his true identity was not that of a criminal, but rather a master escape artist hired by the Federal Bureau of Prisons, specializing in testing the security of various prisons. Over the past 5 years, he had successfully escaped from prison 20 times, and there wasn't a single prison that could hold him. One day, people from the CIA approached him, wanting him to test the security of the highest security prison. Because this prison housed the world's most dangerous criminals, they wanted Uncle Long to help assess whether it was truly secure. Although Uncle Long was a bit worried after hearing this, he ultimately agreed. To be on the safe side, his accomplice even installed a tracker on him, but when the day came for him to be captured, the other side simply stunned Uncle Long with a taser and dragged him into a car, as if they had known everything in advance. They took away his tracker, and when Uncle Long woke up, he found himself already in prison. Seeing how brutal the other side was, Uncle Long immediately gave the retreat code, ready to quit on the spot. But the warden was unmoved after hearing this, and simply ordered his men to lock him up. At this moment, Uncle Long could never have imagined that it was actually one of his own companions who had betrayed him, conspiring with the warden to keep him locked